Praise the Lord, guys. It's Minister Straw. So there's a rising trend on the internet where they compare men and women, sexual roles, and they compare it to a glass containing a beverage. So what they're saying is that it's okay for you to pass the glass around the room, but everybody shouldn't be drinking from it. And they use this as a reason to say why it's okay for men to sleep around and for women to not sleep around. And I'm here to tell you that this trend absolutely must stop. So I'm going to play a short clip, and then I'm going to give you my breakdown afterwards.
I don't understand how you don't get that.
Can you hand me your can? Turn here. Now hand it to Jen. Now, Jen, hand the can back to her. And hand it to me one more time. And I'm going to hand it to you. Now take a sip. Then we just passed a can around 4-5 times. And then I had Azar take a sip. Did it taste the same? Now, what if I stick my finger in it? Have Angelito, our producer, stick his finger in it. Have Jen stick her finger in it. Do you think it'll taste the same? Would you want to drink it?
No.
That is the difference.
Okay, so what they're saying is that men are like the glass. You can pass the glass around from hand to hand, and all you have to do is wipe it off, and it's okay. And they're saying that the women are like the water that's in the glass, that you can't keep dipping. You know, other guys can't keep dipping their hand in this glass because it's going to become extremely disgusting. All right, so I'm telling you that this trend has to stop because this is not true. If you look at a lot of medications, they're applied topically. That means they're applied on the skin. They're absorbed through the skin. They are making this conclusion because they assume that because the male sexual organ is mostly skin, that it's okay, that it's a barrier. But if that were true, then men would never get STDs. You see, everything, just as much as it gets absorbed for her, it does get absorbed for you. You don't get a special boundary. They think that, you can just wipe it off and it's good, it's clean to go. No. It's easy to see why you can't just dip your hand in the water and pass that around. That's easy to get. But they're having a hard time understanding that you can't just wipe the glass off either. Because which woman wants a glass like that she has to wipe off, because a lot of people have touched that glass. I'll ask that question. You see, and the really bad thing about it is that they're passing on these ideals to young boys that are growing up and watching these videos. Young little boys are hearing this. They have this other analogy where they like to say that, because men, we have, a lot of, our semen, our reproductive unit, while a woman can only get pregnant once a year, once every 9 months. So they like to say that, well, me as a man, I can go out and I can impregnate 50,000 women over one weekend, but that woman can only be impregnated by one man, which indicates that it's okay for a man biologically sleep around while a woman is not. That is also wrong. And you're passing on a really bad mentorship and guidance to young men that are growing up and seeing these things being said on the internet. I would like to compare men and women to locks and keys. Men are the keys, women are the lock. The key is designed to open the lock. But what's a lock if it can be opened by a lot of keys? It's not so useful. Anybody can break into your stuff, right? But then here's where we get it wrong. When we say that a key that can open many locks is valuable. A key that can open many locks is dishonest. A key that can open many locks is dishonorable, because that means that you can go and break into other people's stuff. But instead they say that it's a good thing because, men are revered for having been with a lot of women, but women are not so much. It's a double standard. But here's where I drop my knowledge. Here's where I drop my wisdom. It's men's duty to resist their natural biologic nature. That is our duty, is to resist. But for women, it's their duty to embrace their biologic nature. Let me say that one more time. For men, it's our duty to resist our biologic nature, to resist the urge to run around and impregnate 50,000 women in one weekend. And it's a woman's job to embrace her biologic role. Being that lock that can't be opened by any other key. Being that exclusivity. It's a man's job to resist his biologic nature. It's a woman's job to embrace hers. Doesn't sound so good now, does it? You guys would rather run around be saying that it's a man's job to go around and impregnate everything that he can find. Well, it's a woman's job to just sit at home, waiting on you. I think that this trend is disgusting and it absolutely needs to stop. You're hurting so many people by putting out these ideals. You're encouraging men to do this, Because if you look spiritually, you know that for every person that you sleep with like that, you get an unclean spirit. Did you know that? Some people wonder why they can't get anywhere in life. They have all this weight of these spirits holding them down. And it manifests in many ways. Because if you look at it, I mean, how fulfilling is life if you cannot find one person that you truly care about and you just want to be with them? What kind of life is that to live? You think that that's a good thing for you to be able to run around and have no connection to nobody? That's not a fulfilling life, man. That's emptiness. Because as soon as the thrill of your last conquest fades away, then you're hungry again for another conquest. Instead of finding each other in each other. Because to keep with this biologic theme, men can have sex without an attachment, but women can't. And the chances are, if you do find that one person and you behave like this, karma, when this person finds out what you've been doing and they go and, give themselves to somebody else, that's gonna really hurt. Because the emotional ties that she's gonna find in this other person, you're gonna see it in her eyes, you're gonna sense it in her spirit, that she has departed from you. And if you care about her, like what I'm trying to communicate to you right now, it's gonna be the worst thing in the world, man. Because as a man, you're a protector. And what we fail to realize is that one way to protect is to resist your biologic nature, to spread your seed as wide as you physically can. My name is Minister Straw.